Hey everybody, it's the coach, and this is Monday Night Football on EA Sports. Straight ahead, we've got a terrific matchup on tap between the Baltimore Ravens and the New York Giants. I'll be back at halftime to look at some of these stats and scores from Sunday's action. But for now, it's Monday Night Football. And to call the action, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, we welcome everybody to the Garden State. EA Sports coverage of the NFL finds us at MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford, New Jersey. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Baltimore Ravens and Giants. Alongside my partner, Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Godden. This Giants ball club, it's been perfection so far. They come in here unbeaten at 14-0.
And just 2 wins away from doing something only 2 teams have ever done. But the most important thing for them now is to make it to the postseason in one piece.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Ravens, they come in feeling good after back-to-back victories. The holiday season is upon us. We've got the gift of the NFL as we're underway here in Week 16. This will be taken in at the 1. Spinning away. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. So here are the Giants ready to start their initial drive of the game. At a glance at the man under center at 6'5", he always demands attention.
And what I'm looking for from him today, the things every quarterback is looking to do. Lead his team to a victory. Doesn't matter whether he's throwing it, running it, handing it off, however he has to do it, as well as exhibiting some leadership, that's what he's trying to accomplish.
They'll come out throwing here on first down. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. And with his size coming out of the backfield, usually takes more than an arm tackle to get him down. That's why they like to get him involved in the passing game.
No doubt about it. You saw him running that angle route there and catching the ball. And with his size, not often thought to have hands, but we're hearing that more and more. Guys are doing a better job of catching the ball at any size coming out of the backfield because they need to be a full part of the offense.
These are his numbers from last week's contest. 14 carries, up over 130 yards, and a touchdown.
Well, this is where it becomes a challenge for the offensive coordinator. He's got a bell cow at tailback right now, number 3 in the league in rushing, within shouting distance of the lead. But at the same time, if the passing game is open, he's got to take advantage of that too.
So in Raven territory now, here's a 1st and 10 right at the 40. Now the first carry for Ty Montgomery. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5. The New York Giants offensively, their starters, and one guy out wide to take a look at, Sterling Shepard.
A really mature man in every way coming out of Oklahoma. Personally and professionally. You can play him out wide, play him in the slot. He can return punts for you. He's a dynamic playmaker.
The play-action fake. They'll look to throw. Sliding up. And a big loss here as he's taken down.
Enough takes a start to have a good drive. Quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
Now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
On 3rd down, Barkley. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. They get 13, but it's not nearly enough. And it'll be 4th down.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
And this is good. He got just enough to clear the crossbar. As he drops it in from long distance. And the Giants are off now to a 3-0 lead. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So now the Ravens getting ready for their first go on offense. They'll have Lamar Jackson calling the shots, the former Heisman Trophy winner from Louisville.
That was a solid performance last week, wasn't it? 2 touchdowns, no interceptions, ran the team well, won the ball game. Bottom line, may not have been earth-shattering, but it didn't need to be.
Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line.
Hurry up, here we go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
Now they try the right side here. And they'll get it up just short of the 45.
Okay, let's face it. Most of the offensive linemen in today's NFL, they're going to weigh over 300 pounds, but that doesn't mean they don't have agility. And the way that they can get out in front of a runner and create a space, sometimes it looks like they're going in one direction, and the runner uses his eyes to take him in another direction because it's been blocked so well. Love those misdirection or counter plays, and this one worked really well for a nice piece of yardage. That's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
All right, here we go. Green 39.
And on the ground they go with a running back. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. That good for 19 and a first down. You were telling me this yesterday. This is exactly what they want to do on the opening drive, establish the ground game.
Yeah, remember our conversation. We were talking about what one of the GMs in the league has told me repeatedly. It's a big man's game, and it's not necessarily size. He's talking about playing some big boy football.
Got a man, it's caught at the 6-yard line. And this will get him all the way inside the Giants' 10. A gain of 32 that time.
We just saw him hit a big play there on a deep post. And most of the time, the post isn't available because you usually have defenders in the middle of the field. But if you throw enough curls and crossing routes and underneath routes, I know from experience, they get tired of watching those balls get caught. They start to creep up a little bit, and that's when you can hit them. Big over the top.
Here we go now.
He'll get it up the middle. And he's going to get him about 3 yards closer. He's down to about the 2. This is kind of one of those in-between plays here, Charles, on 3rd and goal from the 2 or the 3 in that area. What do you dial up?
Something quick hitting. You don't have the time for something that develops slowly. It's got to be right at them if you're going to run the football. And if you're going to throw it, something quick, get it out of your hands in a hurry.
What a stand so far defensively. And a 4th and goal. So on 4th down, here's the Ravens Pro Bowl kicker, Justin Tucker, out onto the field. From the right hash at a bit of a tight angle. And Tucker's kick right there. It's good. And that will tie us at 3-3. So matching field goals on our opening 2 drives.
Yeah, it feels like 2 boxers feeling each other out here in the early going of the game, right? Exchanging some jabs, but none of the heavy stuff just yet.
That's fielded in the end zone. And penalty markers down on the field. And they might be backing up a bit here to start the drive.
Illegal block in the back. Return team.
Now this is going to put them back with not great field position.
So they really got zero benefit at all, right? Sometimes you can absorb a penalty when you get a big return. Then the penalty brings it back, but you still have great field position. As you pointed out, not in this case.
He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete. A look at the lineup defensively for the Ravens, who've been pretty good against the pass. Number 10 in the league. It's quite a unit, that's for sure. Number 1 in the NFL against the pass.
Yeah, defending the pass hasn't been an issue for them. It's been stopping the run. And if they don't stop the run, they can't get back to their strength, which is guarding against the air attack.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. It's Barkley on the counter, and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up 3rd down.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. He's going to loft one deep left side here. So they took a shot there on 3rd down, couldn't get it. Now it's 4th.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly. You got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their own 37. They'll throw on 1st down with Jackson. It's complete to Brown, right side. And now the ball's out. Fumble near midfield. And the Giants have it. It's picked up. And they will take over possession of the... Ball at their 42-yard line. Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10.
Here we go now. Blue 90. Blue 90.
They'll start out on the ground. It's Saquon Barkley. One quarter down here on a frigid December night. 3-3 our score. Back to MetLife Stadium in just a moment.
The NFL on EA Sports is presented by Snickers. You're not you when you're hungry. Snickers satisfies.
Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, and it's the Giants with a football here as we begin quarter number 2, and they've got it here with a 1st down. So they go from one 42-yard line to the other as they come up now 1st and 10.
Hurry up, here we go. 3-19. 3-19.
Back to throw now on 1st down. He's got the hook up to Odell Beckham. Touchdown, Giants! Odell Beckham, his 11th touchdown of the year. And the Giants are in for 6.
Brandon, my man, just one sentence for that one. Clinic.
And that's what they've done. They lead the league in points per game this season, but it's been quick strikeability as we saw on that drive.
I think they're actually intimidating defenses because they're back on their heels right away, wondering where it's going to come from, how they're going to hit them. This group is well-organized, well-coached, and extremely confident in what they do.
And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Here we go now.
They go play action here on 1st down. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And nothing doing here as this time the run maybe gets them back to the line of scrimmage, but that's it.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
Throwing is Jackson. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And they'll get him down here at the 23. They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th.
That's certainly playing down in distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath by all means.
Fielded just inside the 20. Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. And it'll be Giant football 1st and 10. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Ty Montgomery and the offense getting set for their next drive. We're in the 2nd quarter. They've got the lead. The lead, though, not so much because of the ground game, because of their air attack, Charles.
So what they're seeing so far is the possibility of things loosening up later in the ground game. Through the air first, maybe they have to start respecting that even more as the game goes on, and then there will be running lanes to find later.
Yeah, try to get him more involved here on this drive maybe. And an alley to run. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. Good yardage as he rumbles for 24 and a first.
Well, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
So a solid run by Saquon Barkley and another 1st and 10 here. A 1st down carry for Barkley. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
Here we go.
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. Wide open receiver complete. And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. First time they've hooked up here. Good for 17 and a 1st down.
And after that completion, you can understand why so many teams in the league are emphasizing speed on defense at every position. The tight ends have created so much.
He's going to be sacked back at the 23-yard line. Tony Jefferson in there to drop him, and it'll be a loss of about 8.
And plays like that really hurt play calling. They had a really nice gain on the previous play, but gave about half the yardage back on the sack. Excellent pressure up front. Nowhere to go with the football. Down he goes.
Now back to throw. He'll buy some time right. And he's just going to get rid of this thing. To no one here. He throws it away, and now it's 3rd.
Oh, I like that right there. Not only was it the right play, throwing it away like that, frankly, I think it was the only play.
Yeah, got outside of the pocket, realized he had nothing, just chucked it free.
Yeah, live to fight another down, right?
They'll look to throw. Now he's got it. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
They'll set up to throw. Flush to his right. And Ingram's got it. Touchdown, Giants. Evan Ingram, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Giants are able to grow their lead. So he scrambled right, but was able to look back toward the middle of the end zone to find the target.
As you know, in this game, sometimes you just have to know when to break the rules because we all know most guys going to football are taught never throw back into the middle of the field on a scramble. He did it and got away with it for a touchdown.
Instinct sometimes, right? They just take over.
Instinct and vision. Sometimes you just see people who are open, you're able to get it to them.
And the Ravens taking the field. The partner just looking at some of the struggles they've had this season. The playoffs are not in their future. As they start to peer toward the offseason, what moves might they make?
I think the running back position, and I know we talk all the time about the NFL being a passing league, but the teams that run the ball effectively, they're the ones that go deep into the playoffs and go to the Super Bowl. They have to upgrade here. And you and I both know in recent years in the draft, people have shied away from taking a runner early, but if there's that special one there, I say they go get him.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. 2 minutes to play here in the first half. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. On 3rd down, that's Black. And not much room there, so get it up only to about the 21. Just a 1-yard gain on the play, and that'll mean a call to the punt team as it's 4th down.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
The offense takes the field, and we turn our attention to Saquon Barkley. He's in his zone, 2nd quarter, already closing in on a 100-yard game.
And that's the magic number for a running back. Anytime you get to that triple digits, that's all you're looking for. But he's got a chance to really exceed that in this one.
Yeah, he does. That's been the gold standard for a long time, hasn't it, that 100-yard mark?
It really has, and that never has to shift because it's in a game. It's a 1,000-yard mark. I'm wondering, since we've gone from 12 to 14 to 16 games, maybe we need to up that a little.
On 2nd down, here's Barkley. And not a whole lot doing there as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. And now the Raven defense going to call a timeout as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down.
No. Check. Patriot. Now let's go. Blue 90.
Back to throw here. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. And a shot taken on 3rd down, unsuccessful. 4th down now.
Sure, that pass was incomplete as they made an attempt to get a big one downfield. But that's okay because
pressure comes and it's blocked. The Ravens block it. It's picked up, and this is a live ball, remember. So much for pinning him really deep. Short punt could have pinned him in. Inside the 10. Now great field position the other way.
It's never good when you're punting the ball and your eyes see the ball go back behind you.
No.
In however form, whether it's over your head or to the side, never good. Now it becomes a race to get to the football.
Got a man, it's caught for a Ravens touchdown. Mark Andrews with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Ravens draw a bit closer.
I think everyone in the league talks about finishing, don't they? Doesn't matter whether it's a quarter, a half, a game, a series, whatever. But they're finishing the first half in fine style, putting that one in the end zone.
They did, and they didn't leave much time on the clock either. Well done. A nice, tidy little drive there, getting the ball in excellent field position, and only one play to score it. Here's Tucker now out to kick this one away. This will be taken in at the 1. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. The offense takes the field, and we turn our attention to Saquon Barkley. He's been good. His guys are winning. So far, the recipe working here in the second quarter.
And he doesn't like to just tote the rock. He wants to carry his team on his back. And that's what he's done throughout this game.
Yeah, he's done that. He'll be hoping to continue that trend. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Now a play fake here on 1st down. Escaping the pressure right. He's going to let this go deep. Back over the... Looking for his receiver. Sharp, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Tony Jefferson. And they will finally get him down as he's all the way to the 36-yard line.
Okay, it's real simple to say from here, but we know that sometimes as a quarterback, you've got to know when to say when and just throw it away. Flushed out to the right, tries to make something out of nothing here, and he winds up floating one downfield that gets intercepted.
Jackson now, and he's got his man on the out route, and he's going to get this inside the 30. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play.
Hurry up, here we go. Green, 39.
On 1st and 10, it's Jackson. And he will find his man on the outside. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. In for the score. And the Ravens are an extra point away from tying the football game. And a little time left on the clock, so on the other side, they're thinking, gosh, we'd like to get that lead right back.
Yeah, thanks for pointing that out. Here I am going ahead and tapping out the first half.
Well,
there's still time. They've got to make a decision about what they want to do on the kickoff, where they want to make it.
Now a hit and a loose football. So a teammate picking him up there, that was nearly disaster.
And the way that you coach these things, you want to make sure you have eyes towards the return guy because you want to make sure that the catch is secured. A lot of teams do that. They have at least one guy. Okay, you're responsible for making sure he secures the catch. He's not always the one that makes the recovery, but he can always sound out the alarm. Hey, ball's on the ground. We've got to get it back.
And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down. Line of scrimmage, the 31 as they line up 2nd and 10.
No. Check. Patriot. All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
He'll try again with the arm here on 2nd down. Looking for Shepard deep. It's caught inside the 25. And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining. In the second quarter. A bit of a surprise. They're going for it with 2 ticks remaining. No sign of the field goal unit.
Here we go now. Blue 90. Blue 90.
Delay of game, offense.
And that'll set them back 5.
Still first down.
So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit. He hit his first. Now this from 43. And Rosas puts this one through. So we've reached halftime here at MetLife Stadium with the Giants out in front. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. We'll get back to you and Charles in a minute. But first, time to give the folks at home a look at what's going on around the NFL. We'll get started up at Paul Brown Stadium in Cincinnati, where it was definitely a game with some intrigue, as you can see by the scoreline. Kiki Cutie leading the way with 3 touchdown catches. From there, we head down south to Tampa to check on the Bucs at home at Raymond James Stadium. And they were losers in that one as they fall to the visiting Denver Broncos. Mohamed Sanu, well over 100 yards receiving with 3 touchdown catches. Lastly, let's get you way up to Seattle. See what's happening with the Seahawks. And they were winners as they defeat the visiting New England Patriots. Russell Wilson, sharp in the victory, as his guys get back within a game of 500.
We now proceed to the start of the second half.
Meanwhile, in our game, no shortage of offense as each team been able to move the ball effectively. Will the defenses show up in the second half? To find out, we give it back to our commentators, Brandon Gotten and Charles Davis.
And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line.
Now let's go. 3-19.
And he'll go on the ground. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that.
And the giant rush gets home as down he goes. These strong safeties, some people may not realize it. It's really like an extra linebacker, right?
It really is because they're hybrids. Half line. The linebacker in him on that play emerged.
Hurry up, here we go. Blue 90.
Now flags come in. I think one of the Ravens got going a little early.
False start, offense.
Not a great start to this drive. You had the sack, now the false start.
I mean, it doesn't take much to either read lips or just imagine what the head coach is saying right now. Get your head in the game, guys. Let's go.
Play action. Now Jackson. And he's going to go down again.
We've watched this a long time, and I still don't believe we get it. 3rd and long. Why are you calling play action?
Because they're not going to bite defensively, right?
No, not at all. I did have a coach explain to me years ago that for some teams, that's how they have to deal with pass protection and the line blocking. But to me, it seems silly.
Yeah, well, they're silly, and that leads to a play-action sack. A big kick, 50 yards that time, with a return of 4. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Good starting field position for the New York Giants here as they come up 1st and 10. He'll drop to throw. And now this is intercepted. My goodness. Picked off by Marlon Humphrey. And a return across midfield into the 46-yard line.
Well, it's a cold night. And whether you're a quarterback that wears a glove on his throwing hand or not, that ball is a rock, Brandon. You've got to really drive it through the cold and the wind, or it can take off on you. And that may have been what happened there.
Jackson. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
Well, this at least is the right idea. I think they've got to get the tight end more involved.
He had just one target in the first half, incomplete. Now incomplete here with the first target in the second half.
Yeah, should not stop them at all from going back to him now. Find him.
And he's going to be met at about the 43. Henry Anderson, big man from Stanford, there for the stop.
They know that old expression, it's not my night. It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage.
Looking for Crabtree, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Janoris Jenkins. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Oh, man, Brandon, not a real good throw that time. It looked like he tried to put a little too much air under this one, and it turned into a floater. And defensively, this is a dream. He could have fair caught that one. That was way too easy.
And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react.
And he's going to go down. Back at his own 5-yard line, it's a sack. Well, it was second long, now it's third and even longer. They're going in the wrong direction here.
Because they're moving them exactly the way they want to, but you're exactly right. Definitely going in the wrong direction for the offensive guys.
Here we go now. 3-19. 3-19.
He'll look to throw. He'll let it go deep for Beckham. Well, this is taken in. It's complete. And they finally get him down, but not before he gets it up to the 46. A huge gain of 40 yards on the third down conversion.
You know I'm going to lean towards the defender, right? You know I'm going to do that.
I know.
That's a tough situation for him as I see it. But the truth of the matter is, that ball was not streaking towards him. Had a little arc on it. He's got to find a way to get his head around to make a play on the football.
Now Saquon Barkley. Tim Williams makes the tackle.
That didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
They'll run it again with Barkley. And across midfield he goes into Raven territory. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll set up a third down.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. They'll look to throw here, eluding the pressure. That's caught inside the 20. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. A very nice pickup of 33 yards.
Looked like the defense put pretty good pressure on him, but he's able to flush out to his right to try and evade people. On the run, had to get on his horse. Still accurately throws a nice pass for a first down.
It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
Incomplete. Evan Ingram was the intended target, and that takes us from second to third down. Throwing the football, he's not as sharp as he was last week when he was over 70%. Right now, he's under 50%.
Well, that comes from extra game film, extra time. You know those guys watched him all week, saw how precise he was, and constructed a defense to try and chip away at that, and thus far they've been successful.
Oh, incomplete. Nearly the pick they needed. They would have loved one there, but at least it does get them to fourth down. What a difference a week makes. Last week he hit on over 80% of his passes. This week he's down under 50%. What do you see as the difference?
Well, I think we're used to seeing a drop. If someone's over 80%, they're not going to hold that number, not in this league. But a drop under 50%, that just tells me that the defense, they spent a lot of extra time on game films and came up with a really good plan to try and chip away at his timing.
That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Hurry up, here we go. 3-9.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And nearly picked off there. Almost intercepted. Instead, second down.
Just work with me a second here, because in my lifetime, seeing how quarterback percentages have changed in throwing the football, I mean, back in the good old days, if you were around 50%, you were doing okay. But now, you need to be 65 to 70% to be considered an elite quarterback. And in this ball game, I feel like we're playing old school, right around 50%.
Yeah, he's under 50%. He needs to start hitting more targets.
Here we go. Boom, landed.
They go play action now. Jackson. And able to find John Brown. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. And a big 32-yard play on third.
Really? Really? Did we just see that? That's a big catch. One-handed, I might add, to pick up a first down.
I was going to say, on third down for the defense, it's one thing to get... And he is going to be taken down. And that should be the final play of this third quarter. Olivier Vernon not dropping into coverage. He comes on.